The American dream consists of a carrot and a stick. The stick just gets longer and the carrot gets smaller till it no longer exists. Yeah, so true. Yep, so true. But I still believe in the American dream. I know can you envision if the people that stepped on Plymouth were here today, what they would think of our country? They wouldn't recognize it. They wouldn't. It's not at all what the Constitution was about. Well, nobody's respecting the Constitution, let's face it. We have people that are supposedly elected there in Washington that serve hospital associations, teachers associations, nursing associations, science associations. That's who they work for. But if you took it back to where really how it should be is there should be more barriers for the wealthy, in my opinion. That may not seem fair, but I think that I don't believe in this redistributing of wealth shit, okay? But because that's socialism. But if you're a CEO or you have a bunch of hospital lobbyists that are there doing the bidding for the big corporation, that's not who the politicians should be listening to, because those people serve the hospital. If it's a union, an association, any of these big that make a ton of money kind of thing, corporation, they're going to gather all these employees. They should be like, nope, I'm just serving my constituents. That's it. If all the politicians did that, then you would be operating under the Constitution. Instead, wealthy, greedy elites who can't bear to be without, if they have every little cent, they're so wicked in their head with money. Hospital CEOs, the ones that first come to mind, but there's many others. If they weren't the voices that were being heard in Washington, and instead just each politician focused on their constituents, I think the country would operate much better. Completely. You wouldn't even need unions. There'd be no need for them. But of course the unions will create whatever crisis they have to so that they can feel like that make sure that there's a need for them, right? God forbid any nurse at the top of National Nurses United or American Nurses Association actually has to work for a living. Yeah, I don't think the politicians, any of them, I know they all serve those people. They all serve their lobbyists and their special interest groups. But you'll never be able to achieve the American dream with that, because that's racism, what they do. And it's a disregard for just the average person. That said, I still believe in the American dream. I do. I wouldn't stand up and speak up if I didn't. I don't necessarily believe that it's something I'll see in my lifetime. But I fight for it for the people I love that are younger than me. I want them to have a chance at it. I don't want them to have to go through much of the system we've lived under or something worse. I want them to actually have a chance at the American dream. That's who I'm fighting for, so that's who I speak up for. I don't think this system will turn around enough for just the average people, not for a long time. You can clear out the nightmare, okay? You can clear out the corrupt people, but you're still going to have those people that they fall on that line where they're not necessarily, they haven't done anything illegal, so you can't haul them off to jail, but their organizations will remain in place, still tanking things like your nursing association. Been there forever. It's destroying nursing, but, you'll get a bunch of lawyers fighting, that they have a right to exist. Fine, they can exist. They shouldn't be deciding the direction of nursing, though. Clearly, they shouldn't, given many videos I've done explaining that. But so for things like that, I think for the average person, it'll be the American dream will, it'll be in the next, I don't want to say generation, but the people younger than me. The group that came after the millennials, or the late millennials, and the group, the generation. I don't know what they call the generation after the millennials. What do they call them? Is it YZ now, or I don't know. Their generation, and maybe the late millennial group. that's who I'm hoping will want it by the time they are at the point in having to get out into the workforce, and hopefully anyway they won't have the obstacles the rest of us have had, and they won't have to pay so many taxes. But it took us so long to get here. I don't think at least for the average citizen, I don't think the average citizen will see the benefits of us standing up and fighting. I don't know, maybe we will. I think that the special interest groups, the unions, the special groups, BLM, they will all be served before the everyday American, because they're a voice in numbers. Even though they're a voice in numbers that has been controlled and manipulated by a bunch of people, it's still numbers. But it'd be really simple if none of those special interest groups were allowed anymore. Then it would force the politicians to strictly work for the average person, the average constituents that they're supposed to work for. And then you wouldn't have hospital lobbyists, nursing lobbyists, union lobbyists all in the ears of the politicians, and then that's who they work for, and that's how we all get screwed over. So I think it would be really simple. If you cut out all these layers, then that would be the first thing that would start to help to take us back to what the founders envisioned for this country. And then maybe through that, one day, for the younger people, they will truly not have to live with what we had to live with, but we'll have the opportunity to actually achieve the American dream. I prayed for that.